on your USB drive. So go inside of that content folder, create a new folder, and this is
of course, Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, Utah from the 2nd Audio-Visual Squadron, as well as Joint Base San Antonio Lackland in San Antonio, Texas from the 3rd Audio-Visual Squadron. These two audio-visual squadrons are a big deal. There's a lot of really, really hard-working people who not only defend their country, but make sure that everyone can see this event and these events play out live. They do a lot of air shows as well as sports, traveling all over the country. I'll tell you what, celebrated a birthday yesterday. You gave me a great shout out. Steve Deneau got the cake, but you know, it felt like a family, and that's what the people here do. They make sure that you are accounted for, and I think that's taught in every military and every branch, and so it's been a really cool experience for me to be a part of the team.
Well, I mean, we thank you for joining us. Obviously, you're really taking this production up to a higher level, right? You're the pro here, so having you here has been helpful for all of us, and I know we've enjoyed your company as well.
Thanks, Shelby. I appreciate that. And also, I don't know about pro. I think these women are pros. What they do, defending their countries, but also trying to defend crosses like this and put the ball into the back of the net. But that's what is so unique about this tournament. And of course, I know the CISM Council is just hoping that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We talk about 140 nations have at least one CISM team. And what that means is there's 30 different sports. So it could be a volleyball team or a rifling team. It doesn't have to be women's football. It could be a men's football team, not women's football, and vice versa. Just crossed in, stopped by the Irish for now. But this is tied with El Paso in 2018 for the largest women's football championship that they've ever had. So they're hoping that in the Netherlands next year, maybe it gets up to 11, and they add one more. And of course, too, this was what Steve Deneau and the United States wanted to do was put on a big stream so that people could understand, A, how talented these women are, but B, what's possible with CISM women's football.
You know, and I wish we could live stream the entire thing. I think a lot of people are missing the behind the scenes of how much these women get to meet each other, learn about each other, hang out, visit the area. I know that the Ireland team got to go downtown a little bit here in the last couple days, and that's exciting.
And if you like coffee, there's a lot of coffee in the state of Washington, especially in Spokane.
And speaking of behind the scenes, you know, we've been talking about him this entire time. Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman has been a huge help and really the man behind everything here in Spokane, Washington, putting on this CISM tournament. And he wanted to shout out Captain Baum. He said she's been the assistant through the entire event and does it all. And she just got
So a corner kick here for Cameroon. So Chanko to take the corner. Cameroon looking for number 5. That hits the side of the net, and that was stopped pretty quickly. So Lauren Dunn, who's had a battle here in the first half. Ireland doing a better job the last 10 minutes or so of working on some things defensively. But as I say that, Tabe, who scored the game winner against the United States, gets her second goal of the tournament, her first of the match. And a couple of Irish players are down as Cameroon goes up 5-0. And we were just talking about Dunn, how hard she's had to work. She collided with the right center back in Shannon Thomas. And Dunn is in some serious pain on the ground.
We definitely don't like to see that here. Having her on the ground, holding her head. We're really holding our breath here to hope that she's okay and she's able to continue. And I know the Irish team is doing the same. And really, bottom line, we just want to make sure everyone's staying safe, healthy, and able to make it through the championship. And I know that they are too.
Well, Dunn's a warrior, and she's down over there inside the 18. Training staff looking at her, and I think Shannon Thomas feeling bad because they collided. Of course, not Shannon's fault. They were going for the ball and trying to make a play. And Lauren Dunn, who's in the Army, she's an infantry soldier, member of the Defense Forces football team the past 3 years. Just hoping that she's okay inside the box.
And that was in the 32nd minute. Goal by number 17, Tabe.
So Cameroon gets that goal. They lead Ireland 5-0. Done a nice job of moving the ball around. Tabe now has her second goal of the tournament, first since the game winner against the United States in the 79th minute. Also has an assist in this match. Saw the goal there. Tabe just using that speed, still able to dribble, and Thomas and Dunn collided.
And being a goalkeeper is hard all around, but having that tenacity and that courage to do those dives, to do the rolls, and to really dive into traffic like that and risk an injury like this right now is just above and beyond, right? You can't be afraid of the ball, and you really want to keep the other team from scoring no matter what you do. So diving there is really the best thing that she could have done. It just has to be unfortunate that she had a collision, in which we hope that never really happens.
So Dunn still down, still getting tended to. So Dunn still down, still getting tended to. Head referee is over there as well, checking in on Dunn. That is Mariska Overtoom, head ref from the Netherlands. That's what we were talking about. It's tough for Shannon Thomas too, because it's so inadvertent. She's trying to make a play on the ball from Tabe and prevent the goal, and there's just nothing you can do about that situation. When Dunn is coming in, Shannon Thomas is trying to make a play as well. And now Darren Cody, the head coach, the manager I should say, is going out to check on his star keeper.
You absolutely bring up a good point. Shannon Thomas, I know she is feeling down on herself for making that collision, but she's doing her job, and so is Dunn, and I think they both know that, so I couldn't see any type of animosity.
Take a look at some highlights from this match. So we can take a look at some highlights from this match. See how Cameroon got to 5-0. You can see there, that was a goal. The first goal was by Eto, and then the second one by Uncomodio. The third also by Eto, so she's one away from a hat trick. And then that fourth goal was by Confidence, her first goal of the tournament, how well she has played. And finally that fifth goal that just happened that led to the collision by Tabe.
Big thanks to our medical team. Big thanks to our medical team that is here. We have EMS over here on the far side by the locker rooms. Then we also have 2 medical trainers from each nation coming here to CISM to make sure that these players are at their tip-top shape to play. And you can see both of them out there on the field. And it looks like she got up. She is a tough one there, Lauren Dunn.
Good to see that Dunn is okay. So good to see that Dunn is okay. And scary collision, you never know. Again, scary collision, you never know. It's a nice job, like you said, by the training staff. It's nice to see Darren Cody go out there and check on his star keeper. We're resuming some football here. 5-0 in favor of Cameroon. Cameroon could be the most dangerous team in this tournament. Again, I think a lot of people could say Germany, a lot of people South Korea. I know France has only played 1 match, but they won in convincing style, 8-0 over the Netherlands. So
It's definitely a good matchup. There are some great teams here, and it's going to be interesting to see who makes it to the last few games here at the 13th World Military Women's Football Championship.
Left foot trying a deflection that time by Chloe Farrell. Now right foot try from well out. Testing done.
Just getting her back in the game, right? An easy one for the first save since she has gotten back up, really. Also, the coaches were talking too about the Irish got to go kayaking with the Defence Forces kayaking team in Ireland a week before they came here. Got some time off, got some fun to do a little bit more activities and mesh together as a team. And I think that's exciting. That's, I mean, really what Sisson's all about is getting together and being a team, whether you know each other or you don't, or you're in different nations or you don't. I think that's exciting. And they got to go up in a helicopter here in Fairchild Air Force Base. So there's a lot going on here. Air Force Base, so there's a lot going on here of morale boosting and making sure that they get the breaks that they need.
Confidence now on the other side of the pitch, so they've moved her here. Confidence now on the other side of the pitch, so they've moved her here as a right wing. This is a match too, Shelby, where in the second half I think you're going to see a slew of This is a match too, Shelby, where in the second half I think you're going to see a slew of subs. If I could say that. It was tough. It was a tongue twister. That was an interesting choice of back-to-back words there. I think you're going to see a lot of subs in the second half for Ireland and Cameroon. A, to get experience, but B, to save the legs a little bit. Rita.
I am absolutely always in favor of bringing subs in to do that, just what you said. Give them a break, give the starters a break, but also get them experience. A lot of these players may not have been here on this field, and getting them some time on the turf in to play with the team is vital.
Here's Rita. Good move. Great deke. Inside the 18, right foot cross. That was off the head. It looked like Thomas. Germany versus the United States. Friday night. But Germany versus the United States. Friday night. Should have a pretty decent crowd to watch that one. Tabe looking for number 2. Right foot try, and that trickles past the touchline. It'll be a goal kick for Dunn. But Germany versus the U.S. 2019 in Wuhan, China. Germany scored in the 89th minute to beat the United States. And the United States were asked at the pep rally, I'll tell more of this story in that nightcap, but who they were most looking forward. They said, we want revenge on Germany. So that'll be at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We have seen one hat trick. Speaking of the United States, it was by Haley Robertson. Left foot cross by Tabe, was looking for Eto. Eto was looking for a hat trick. We have seen one hat trick. Speaking of the United States, it was by Haley Robertson in the first match of the tournament, in the first half of the first match against Belgium.
Just watching the game, you can see 9 shots on goal by Cameroon and 0 to the Irish team. Really think that coming in here, we're looking at the scoreboard and really just watching the game, you can see 9 shots on goal by Cameroon and 0 for the Irish team. Really think that coming in here close to the second half, they're going to have to make some adjustments to make sure that they can get it in the attacking third of this field and score some goals.
Tabe using her speed against Thomas, but couldn't control it with the left foot. Tabe using her speed against Thomas, but couldn't control it with the left foot. Good ball. To Confidence. Great pass by Chanko. Confidence. Trying to find Eto. It's going to be a corner for Cameroon. Good ball. To Confidence. Great pass by Chanko. Confidence. Trying to find Eto. It's going to be a corner for Cameroon. So in the closing stages here of the first half, Cameroon on pace for double digits in goals. Doesn't mean they're going to get there, but boy, have they flashed what they can do. Maybe it was enough. It goes underneath the keeper and done. Playing it short here to Mbo Mozamo. Mosmo might try one. Left foot, not enough, and maybe it was enough. It goes underneath the keeper and done. Mosmo sort of mishit it, just stayed on the ground, but Dunn stayed too far up. And Mosmo, who already had an assist in this match, adds a tally after scoring against the United States. So that's Mosmo's second goal of the tournament.
What an unlucky dive there for Dunn. It was super close, and you know what? She took that shot even though she might not have had it, and look at what happened. It is that product of that shot.
We always talk about just put the ball on frame. Put it on target. You never know what can happen. That's the perfect example. Ireland looking for their first goal of the match and their first goal of the tournament. That's Saoirse O'Reilly. She was dispossessed. So 4 minutes. 4 minutes are going to be added once the clock hits 45. So 4 minutes of stoppage.
Has their days off. They do have some time to practice. And so we talked about it a little bit. Cameroon didn't play for the first couple days of this tournament, and they got a chance to practice. And as each team has their days off, they do have some time to practice and some time on the practice fields here at Fairchild Air Force Base. And I think that really helps the team mesh a little bit, get used to the weather, take some time to be off the little bit of pressure, but still train hard for things just like this.
Tabe plays it back to Mosmo. Mosmo misses wide.
And so those practice fields, they took a lot to get ready, right? They had all these teams, 10 nations, and they needed to get all the fields in tip-top shape. And Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman wanted to shout out a few people for how awesome of a job they did getting the practice fields ready. Mr. G, Senior Airman Contreras, Master Sergeant Drown, which took 5 hours to mow the lawn for the USA practice team, and Mr. Fun, Bill Neff, helping out mow the lawns, bring push mowers, and getting together to make sure that each practice field was a tip-top shape for these players.
Good move by O'Reilly here. She's got some wheels. Working on Sandrine. And Sandrine takes down O'Reilly. Saoirse O'Reilly down on the pitch. Sandrine going to get talked to here by Risco Overtoom, the head referee from the Netherlands. We'll see if this warrants a card. Let's see. O'Reilly's not giving up. You can also see. Tell you what, I know it hasn't been a great first half for Ireland. No way around that, but let's see. O'Reilly's not giving up. And you can also see she's got some speed.
Absolutely.
Some really good speed there from O'Reilly. So look at the foul again. I'm actually surprised, Shelby, I think you are too, that Sandrine didn't get a yellow card there.
Absolutely. Right there, almost in front of the goal box, and here they're going to have a 2-man wall blocking their goal.
This is going to be Catherine Meany to take it with the left foot for Ireland. Like you said, that 2-woman wall inside the 18, just outside the 6. See what Meany can do. Ireland looking for their first goal, and she took a stab at the keeper in Ungodam. And Ungodam has to make her first save of the match.
Little interesting tidbit about Catherine Meany. She moved to Texas in 2001 on a soccer scholarship, and so she had some training there from Texas here in the U.S. and then went back to Ireland to play here for the Ireland team.
Ireland, that's Leah McAvoy. As well as confidence was down for Cameroon. So 2 players down here for Ireland. That's Leah McAvoy. As well as confidence was down for Cameroon. Eto. Right foot rocket, and Dunn makes the save. It almost went underneath Dunn again, but she was able to get enough of that ball and keep it from going into the back of the net. And that prevented Eto from getting a hat trick in the first half.
She absolutely learned her lesson there, Dunn. She corralled it very quickly.
That was actually a nice defensive play there by Bukench, because if that ball got past Bukench, O'Reilly would have had a one-on-one with the keeper and Ungodam. Chance here for Cameroon, looking for number 7, and there is number Take a look at this save again. A blistering ball into the back of the net. That's the left back who scores there. And Chance here for Cameroon, looking for number 7, and there is number 7. A blistering ball into the back of the net. That's the left back who scores there, and Linda, and gets picked up by her teammate. Did herself.
What a celebration there. You can tell.
So Linda, a defender, scores here for Cameroon. Just took it on that left side, that far side of the pitch, and did it herself.
What a celebration there. You can tell every little play, every goal means so much to these girls out here. And really, we're going into the last few seconds of the game, and they didn't give up here in the first half.
The half here. Well, very lopsided first half, Shelby. It was all Cameroon. So that is the whistle, and we are at the half here. Well, very lopsided first half, Shelby. It was all Cameroon. It started in the 8th minute of the match, a goal from Eto, and then 6 goals later, Cameroon. If you have stayed up, 11:30, now it's 12:19 at night, 12:19 a.m.
Switch some players out like we were talking about, have that slew of Cameroon, switch some players out like we were talking about, have that slew of subs.
We're going to stop saying that.
I know, right? And I think they're going to get some fresh legs and some fresh experience out here. But I think Ireland is really going to take the time here to think strategy and think about what they need to do on the offensive here rather than the defensive. And maybe switch some players to give their defensive line a break. But Lauren Dunn, she's continuing to do what she can there on the goal.
7-0 Cameroon here at the half, and guess what? Interviews with all the teams, all the liaisons, everyone that's working at the half, and guess what? Matt Hester, who's been working so hard to get interviews with all the teams, all the liaisons, everyone that's working so hard at this tournament. He visited with the South Korean team to talk about the tournament, their preparation, them playing together, and oh yeah, there's 6 big points so far. Take a listen.
일단 저희가 이 대회를 위해서 준비를 너무 많이 했고 저희는 이 대회를 저희가 가지고 있는 전력을 다 쏟아부었어요.